Bonjour tout le monde! So in this video, we're going to go over office vocabulary. So if you have a job in an office where you need to know a little bit of French, or you're looking to work here in Canada or in Quebec and you need to learn some office lingo, be sure to stick around and watch this video. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna go over a few basic vocabulary words you would use at an office type job. Then we're gonna go over 3-4 verbs and a few practical sentences that you would use in your day-to-day, okay? So let's get started. Okay guys, the first word, very basic. We're gonna go for employee. Employee in French is employé. Employé. Employé, okay? For a man, for masculine, we say un employé, un employé. For feminine, it sounds the same, just in written French, we would add an E at the end, okay? So it becomes une employée, une employée, un employé, une employée, okay? For a boss is le or un patron, patron, le patron, okay? For feminine, you would say la patronne, la patronne, okay? La patronne, patronne, la patronne, okay? In everyday office lingo, sometimes people will use the English word boss, okay? C'est qui ton boss? Okay? C'est qui ton boss? C'est qui le boss? Okay, sometimes you're going to hear boss around. The proper French word is patron or patronne, but here and there you're going to hear boss, so don't let that throw you off too much, okay? A work colleague in French is collègue. Un collègue. Okay? Collègue. Collègue. The word is the same for feminine. Une collègue. So say un collègue or une collègue. Collègue. Okay? Work. Simply the word work is travail. Travail. Those three letters at the end, A-I-L, make the sound aïe. Aïe. Travail. Travail. Le travail. Mon travail. My work. Mon travail. Okay? All right, let's go for printer. Printer is pretty common at an office job. Printer in French is imprimante. Imprimante. L'imprimante. Or une imprimante. Okay? Usually would say l'imprimante. L'imprimante. Okay? A photocopy machine would be une photocopieuse. Photocopieuse. Une photocopieuse. Or la photocopieuse. Photocopieuse. Okay? So a photocopy will be une photocopie. Photocopie. Une photocopie. Okay? Photocopy. All right? A document. A document is written the same in English and French, but the pronunciation is different, okay? So in French, it's document. Document. The EN makes a sound A. The T is silent at the end, so it becomes document. Un document or le document. Okay? A computer is ordinateur. Un ordinateur. 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 Okay? Typically at the office though, we don't use the full word, we shorten it up and we use an abbreviation very often. So you would say ordi. So we cut the whole end off of the word, okay? You just keep the beginning. So you basically just say ordi. Where's my computer? Où est mon ordi? Ordi. Ordi. Okay? So for a laptop computer, The correct term would be un ordinateur portable. Portable is that you can move around, okay? Un ordinateur portable. But nobody ever says that, okay? It's usually because it's so common nowadays, we basically just say ordi. Like, you ton ordi, apporte ton ordi avec toi. Bring your computer with you, okay? Ordi, okay? You will also hear the English word for it in offices as well. You will hear laptop. Tu peux-tu apporter ton laptop? Can you bring your laptop? Okay? Laptop. But the proper word is ordinateur or ordi for short. Okay? An email. An email in French is un courriel. Courriel. Okay? I don't think they use this word in France very much. I think they actually use email. So this is more specific to Canadian French. Sometimes some of the office lingo is a little bit different, okay? So we use courriel here. Courriel. Courriel. Okay? So the at sign in your email address, we call it at in English. In French, in Canada, again, this is different from France. In Canada, we say arrobas. Arrobas. So it would be John Smith, arrobas, gmail.com, okay? John Smith, arrobas, gmail.com, okay? So usually this is not a term they use in France very much, I've found online. Another way you can say at, you can say a commercial. A commercial, okay? Commercial A commercial. I think in Quebec specifically, arrobas is the word that's most commonly used in the offices, okay? Arrobas. Okay? So a phone simply is téléphone. Un téléphone. Okay? Téléphone. So a cell phone in Canada, in French, not the same as what we have in Europe, okay? Here we call it cellulaire, 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 but usually we use a shorter version, which is cell, okay? Cell. Y est où ton cell? Where is your cell phone? Okay, where's your cell phone? Où est ton cell? Cell, okay? In France, Europe, I think they call it un portable, okay? Portable, that's very European-ish. Here you'd use more cell, okay? You ton cell, where's your cell? Okay? Okay. So paper in French is papier. Du papier. 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 Okay? A pen is un stylo. Stylo. So those Y's in French are pronounced the same as I's, exactly the same. E. Doesn't sound like a Y in English, right? So it's stylo. Un stylo. Stylo. Okay? A pencil is un crayon à mine. Crayon à mine. Un crayon à mine. If we're talking about a mechanical pencil, I actually had to look this word up. I could not for the life of me know what it was in English. So a mechanical pencil in French is pouce mine. Un pouce mine. Pouce mine. Mon pouce mine. Okay? A highlighter in French is surligneur. Un surligneur. Surligneur. Okay? And the last vocabulary word is an eraser. An eraser is une efface or une gomme à effacer, une efface or une gomme à effacer. Gomme à effacer. So let's go over 4 verbs. I'm not going to conjugate them for you, but I'm just going to tell you what they are for different actions. So to photocopy, the verb is photocopier. 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 Okay? To print, the verb is imprimer. Imprimer. All right, this one is a tricky one, okay? The word scan. Scan in French, the correct word we use in offices, and I've had bosses correct me on this before. The correct word is numériser. Numériser, okay? If you want to speak proper French, you say numériser. Je vais numériser le document. I'm going to scan the document, okay? Some people do use the word scan in office, so if you hear scan, it's common. You can say, je vais aller scanner. I'm going to scan. So we use the English term, je vais scanner le document. But if you wanted to use the correct word, it's numériser. Okay? All right. And the last verb is to work. Travailler. Travailler. Okay? I'm going to work. Je vais travailler. 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 All right? Okay, now I'm going to go over about 10 sentences that are very basic office sentences, but they're important to know if you want to survive the day-to-day office life in French. So this is in a conversation. If you're asking a colleague, un collègue ou une collègue, at what time they start, you can ask them, à quelle heure tu commences? À quelle heure tu commences? À quelle heure tu commences? Okay? If you want to say at what time you finish, or you want to ask at what time you finish, you would say, à quelle heure tu termines? À quelle heure tu termines? Okay? There's other ways to ask these questions, but these would be the most common ways you would hear it, I think, in an office, okay? What time you're going to go eat lunch at is, à quelle heure tu dînes? À quelle heure tu dînes? Or you could say, à quelle heure tu vas dîner? À quelle heure tu vas dîner? À quelle heure tu vas dîner? À quelle heure tu dînes? Okay? Again, in this context, sometimes we do use the English word lunch. So we'll turn it into a verb. We'll turn lunch into a verb in French. So sometimes you'll hear, à quelle heure tu vas luncher? À quelle heure tu vas luncher? Okay, so if you wanted to use a proper French word, it would be dîner, but you'll hear lunch often in a French office as well, okay? Or you could say, à quelle heure tu vas manger ton lunch? Okay? À quelle heure tu vas manger ton lunch? À quelle heure tu vas manger ton lunch? Okay? It's not considered good French, but very common, okay? Or the last hour-related question would be, à quelle heure est la réunion? So réunion is meeting. What time is the meeting at? Réunion. Réunion. Okay? So now we're going to go over a different set of questions. So let's say somebody needed somebody else to do a task for them. You would say, est-ce que tu peux imprimer ce document? Can you print this document? Est-ce que tu peux imprimer ce document? Est-ce que tu peux imprimer ce document? Okay, that sounds really fast, I know. Est-ce que tu peux imprimer ce document? Okay? Or est-ce que tu peux photocopier ce document? Est-ce que tu peux photocopier ce document? Okay? Or est-ce que tu peux numériser ce document? Est-ce que tu peux numériser ce document? Est-ce que tu peux numériser ce document? Okay? It comes out fast, I know. I'm saying it not to discourage you, just to get your ear used to the sound. Okay? So if the person's going to do the action themselves, it would be, je vais imprimer ce document. Je vais imprimer ce document. Je vais photocopier ce document. Or, je vais numériser ce document. Je vais numériser ce document. Okay? All right, let's do about 5 more and then I'll give you guys a break until next week, okay? So stay with me, we're almost done. So to send an email, you would say envoyer un courriel. So you can say je vais envoyer un courriel. Je vais envoyer un courriel. Or if somebody's asking you to send an email, they would say est-ce que tu peux envoyer un courriel? Est-ce que tu peux envoyer un courriel à Monsieur Smith, to Mr. Smith, okay? Can you send an email to Mr. Smith? Okay? Or if you need somebody to answer an email, est-ce que tu peux répondre à ce courriel? Can you answer this email? Est-ce que tu peux répondre à ce courriel? Okay? Don't forget to say s'il vous plaît. It's always nice to be polite. Don't boss people around, guys, okay? Est-ce que tu peux répondre à ce courriel? S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Okay? All right. So if you're going to answer the phone, tu vas répondre au téléphone. Est-ce que tu peux répondre au téléphone? Je vais répondre au téléphone. Can you answer the phone? I'm going to answer the phone. Okay? I'm going to make a call. Je vais faire un appel. Can you make a call? Peux-tu faire un appel? So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys find that helpful. If you have any questions, be sure to write them in the comments below. I try to answer them. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, be sure to write them below. I do check the comments and I'll write them in my notebook, okay? So be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time, guys. Merci beaucoup, les amis.